Huzur, our next special guest is Ms. Anne Buckley. Ms. Anne Buckley is the granddaughter of John Hugh Smythe Pigott, with whom the Promised Messiah Islam exchanged correspondence in 1902. She too lives in the United Kingdom, and I'm honored to welcome her and request her to come and say a few words.
Assalamu alaikum. Your Holiness, honoured guests and members of the Ahmadi community. It is an honour to be addressing such a large congregation of Ahmadi Muslims here in Britain, as until about a year ago, I have to admit I knew nothing about you, and certainly not there was a connection with my grandfather, who I understand you know as the Reverend John Hugh Smythe Pigott, but I have only known him by the name of Beloved. He died many years before I was born. I was tracked down due to the detective work of Asif Bassett of your community. He turned up at my old house in Bradford, West Yorkshire, and was told that I lived in Sheffield. And he then proceeded to Sheffield and rang everybody in Sheffield that had the name of Buckley. And finally he found me and tracked me down and visited me. Asif knows far more about the religious history than I do, and explained the connection to me that existed between the Ahmadiyya community and my grandfather. I do not wish to go into the details of the controversy that existed between the two religions, as I know very little about it. Until I was 13 years old, I knew nothing about my unusual family history. I find it very strange that members of your community appear to know more about my grandfather than I do, and also members of my family don't know much about it. An old lady who knew him well said to me and my sisters when we were children, and I quote, "Whatever you have heard about Beloved, he was a truly kind and loving man. I am sure that he would, if he were still with us, want to spread a message of peace, not war, in these very difficult times we live in. It has been an interesting and a great pleasure to know your community, and I have been honoured to have been given an audience with His Holiness, and I have met other members of the community. I wish the community the very best, especially in their work of spreading the message of peace in the world." Thank you.
Nara Takbir!